Live from YouTube, it's the iPhoneography podcast, where me and Greg talk about streaming live on YouTube and Ruth's new phone.
All right. Hello, everyone. This is a trial run of the live stream for YouTube for the iPhoneography podcast. And my name is Greg McMillan. And now you've got a face to the name. And we have a face to the name for Dave Podner. Hello, Dave.
Hey, Greg, how's it going?
It's going really well. So, I mean, so far, this is going without any big hiccups.
Yeah,
So,
with shock, knock on wood.
yes,
Um,
yes. So I mean, if anybody happens to come along and see this and join us live, hello, welcome. And but we're just gonna carry on with a bit of a conversation here just
mhm.
to see how it goes. And this will probably be posted to the podcast stream, even though we're gonna record in a couple more nights here, but like the regular show, but again, this is just a trial and we're going to see what happens. So
Mhm.
let's begin. So Dave, Ruth's phone, you let us know today via text that she got a new one.
Yeah. Basically, she was just having issues with her 13. And she was like, I want a bigger keyboard. I want a bigger phone. And I'm having issues with it. So, how close are we to trading everything in? And we looked at it and we were close-ish. She was just a few months out. So we saw how much it would be. It wasn't too much. It was only a couple $100 to pay off her phone. And then we saw that Apple and our carrier have trade-in deals.
Hmm.
So if we finance 0% financing through AT&T, it turns out to be like $20 a month for
That's
like
not bad.
for like 3 years.
That's not bad.
So yeah, no. Especially for a phone, we got the half a terabyte size.
Oh, nice.
We figured, the photos will be larger. She does a ton of stuff for her work on it, her jewelry business. The
Hmm.
videos, what we ever do, is probably are going to be larger than what we were using before. So bump it up a little bit. Plus, I think it was like $5 more a month to go from 256 to 512, which I know that's how they get you, but it really wasn't that bad of a hiccup.
Well, $20 a month, that's not too bad
No,
for what you're
no.
getting.
Oh
That's for
no,
sure.
no, no. Now the one thing is that, and as she said, because we got to the Apple store, and of course, they have everything, including the Vision Pro. I saw a couple people trying it on. Uh, it doesn't look as big and bulky in person as when you
Oh,
see people trying. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's like you're wearing ski goggles.
oh yeah, yeah,
So it still has that, but when I look at it, it looks like it's like hanging like inches and inches and inches off of someone's face, like popping out. And it
yeah.
just looks like a thick pair of ski goggles. It would still look weird walking around with it,
Yeah.
but first gen, But so we're in there, and the iPads in front of us are this nice pink color. And she's like, "Oh, did they have the phones available?" I said, "No, we're getting a Pro phone. Apple believe pros want dull." So
Yeah, yeah.
because like she put a case on it, so it's not overly important, but it's a matter of the regular 15s. You have the nice pink and the yellows and the this and the blues, and when you have the pros, your options are dark gray, light gray, black, and then blue.
Hmm.
But it's a like dark blue,
Yeah,
so
kind
it's
of like a
not
slate blue.
yeah, it doesn't really stand out.
Yeah, yeah.
So we
It'd be
got the
nice if
we
they made the Pro phones a little splashier, but
I would love it if they put a product right out for a Pro phone.
yeah, I think they've done it in the past.
Yeah,
But
because I think right now
yeah,
they only have the non-pros, the product right. So yeah,
yeah.
business decisions are business decisions. But yeah, she got the white. As she said, it's not really white. It's not like, if you think back to the iPhone 4, white was
Hmm.
white, and this is more like a creamy white.
Oh yeah.
And maybe this is something you experienced too. Is like, The phone is much easier to hold than the 13s. The core the titanium feels different from stainless.
Yeah, and that
The
you
back
know the
is
it's
yeah, the
not such a
back
blunt corner. Like
right. It's a softer corner
it's a
and
little
the
smoother.
back
Yeah.
but and the back is it's almost textured, the back glass, where it doesn't feel like it's going to slip out of your hands as easy.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so I did, of course, the thing that everyone does when they first get the phone. I do a 0.5 and I do a 5x to look at the
Of
difference.
course. Yeah.
Of course, yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
they
you have to do it.
gotta see the range.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And the 5x, now, admittedly, like I know people say, because there's not an intermediate, there's not a 3x physical zoom,
Yeah,
you may have some issues between the 2x and the 5x, whatever.
yeah.
The 5x is clear though. It's
It
so clear. And
it's
these are
surprisingly clear. Yeah.
these are JPEG. We did JPEG live images. So these are not raw, this is just, and this is literally, I'm sitting down, hold up the phone, take a picture.
Yeah.
And the look of it, and when you zoom in on it, I don't know if you want to show this or not, or if you can share your screen, but like across the street, there's a Kendra Scott. I have no idea what it is. Um, Store. Like I said, I have no idea what it is,
Oh yeah.
but it was overcast today. Shocking in Pittsburgh, it's overcast,
Oh
but
yeah, like hey, our weather's always the same.
yeah. But if you look at it, you have the people inside the store, which are done well. You have the outside, which is not overblown. You have the store across the way, where if you zoom into the image, you can actually see across the people across the way. And like the woman in the counter in the store across the street, you can actually see her and see the people working across the street.
Yeah.
And it's, relatively clear to see that. And that to me is like, that to me was impressive.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try sharing the screen here and see what
Okay.
happens. Now, hopefully that will,
Okay. Okay. That's the 0.5. Yeah.
yeah. Now
Yeah.
hopefully
So,
that turns up on YouTube just fine. Anybody's
uh,
in the chat, let me know. I think there's 4 or 5 people in there now. And then now this is the 5X, right?
yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And actually, now I will let people know on YouTube. There is a significant delay between what
Yes,
comes
20
up on
seconds, I
YouTube.
think. Yeah.
So if you do type something in the chat, it may be a while before we see it. But no, it looks like it does work good on YouTube. So
Cool.
yeah, so you can see like the person across the way there. You can see that you can actually read the sign inside the store on the opposite side of the store where it says cold. I have no
Yeah.
idea what, you know.
Yeah.
And it's just, yeah, and doing the digital zoom, going through two panes of glass pretty much from
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
distance, that's really impressive. Just how it
Yeah.
handled that. And even the
It's,
0.5,
yeah.
it's now I would say this, if you look at the very top, you can tell there's some kind of thing going on because the lines that are parallel on top where the drop ceiling is, when you get really close to the camera, it starts looking a little wonky,
Oh, yeah.
you know. But we
Yeah.
know that's an issue with the 0.5.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
Because of
that
the
that's
aperture.
that's optics. Yeah, that's just optics. You can't do much about that. But the quality is just kind of, I was expecting a step up, but I was not expecting that much of a step up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because honestly, all I heard were reviewers saying, "Oh, if you have the 13, it's a little bit of a step up to the
To the
15."
Oh
to the
yeah, yeah.
15. But 14 to 15 is no big deal. And we all heard 13 to 14 was no big deal. So it's like little step, two little steps together do not necessarily make a giant step. It makes
Yeah.
a not bad step.
Yep.
And like I said, I know I even did I sent another series of pictures where I had both cameras in my hand outside my front door, looking west
Hmm.
at, let me get the time here, 6:30. Okay. So this is after sunset.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or, well, I want to be correct here. I want to be correct. Yeah, sunset to Pittsburgh is 5:45, 5:49. So this is around 40 minutes after sunset. And the one picture, the dingier picture, it's still not a bad picture. It's from my phone, which is, 2.5 year old,
Hmm.
you know, and it's got a little yellowing, and you can see the houses across the street in the foreground, but they're really blackened out. It's almost like a silhouette.
Yeah.
And that's a 3-second exposure for night mode. Again,
Yeah.
handheld. When I did Ruth's phone, it was 1 second exposure night mode, handheld, and you can actually see like the a lot more details, and the light that is like the front light for the house across the street, it's not as blown out. The sky is bluer. It doesn't have the yellow tinge to it. The clouds are crisper. You can actually see details, even though, like, admittedly, it's going to be grainy
Yeah.
because handheld, JPEG, you know, all that stuff. But the difference in 2 years, when all you hear from people, professionals, and admittedly, they're professionals, they see lots of cameras, or it's a kind of a jaded image that a lot of people have.
Yeah.
And when you get a hold of it, you're like, no, this is significant.
Yeah. No, you know what? I thought, I mean, I went from the 12 Pro Max to the 14 Pro Max, and I thought that
Hmm.
was a really significant jump. And I'm talking from a photographer's perspective. And going from the 14 Pro Max to the 15 Pro Max, it wasn't as big of a jump, but it's a lot bigger jump than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going
Hmm.
to be really um, minuscule, but I think I'm finding the image quality is definitely, considerably better. Um, and going from the 3X to the 5X, wow. I mean, now you've seen it. It's pretty
Hmm.
incredible.
Yeah.
And there's that word incredible. Scott Baker's gonna ride me on that one. But it's incredible. It's pretty cool. Um, and I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I did it. And
Yeah.
I'm glad you now got a chance to play around with it.
Hmm.
I mean, and you might have to, buy Ruth some roses once in a while to say, "Hey, honey, can I try your phone again?" But I mean, you're holding it for the 16 Pro Max, which is,
Right.
I
Well,
think that's
also my phone, because when we both got our 13s, the Pro Max was delayed in terms
oh
of
yeah,
shipment at that time. So my phone, I have 8 months left in my payment plan. She only had 6.
right, yeah,
My phone was more expensive, so mine actually has $300 left on it.
yeah,
And she said, "Do you want to just do it?" I said, "I want to hold off. We're more than halfway to the new phone. My phone works fine, you know, even though the only thing we're hearing with the 16, it's going to be bigger.
hmm
Um, and they're going to make other improvements that there's improvements that are software, and
oh yeah,
there are, in terms of chip based. This is
yeah,
better because it has the newer chip versus the last generation, and it has this and it does this. Like, we're not going to use the Pro Raw. Me
oh
and
yeah,
Ruth, we're not going to
right,
use the Pro Raw.
yeah,
First of all, we don't use Pro Raw editing tools for video. So we're not going to do it. She's not even probably going to use Raw, period.
hmm
Because she's like, You explained it to me. I still don't get it, and I don't think it's worth the effort.
Yeah.
And honestly, the iPhone JPEGs or HEIFs really is what we use. They're pretty amazing for, I'll say 95%
Oh
of
yeah.
circumstances. So it doesn't really make sense to do the whole raw thing for most people.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
that's
would
right.
say the Pro versus the non-Pro, the 5X is definitely worth it. Um, you know,
And now you got that 48 megapixel sensor too.
right, right. That makes a big difference too.
Yeah. Now, have you played
So,
around with the focal lengths just to see, how they,
briefly,
yeah.
briefly, because I said, well, if you hit the 1X, you can hit that. It looks like a zoom, but you're really not zooming. It's more of like a full sensor crop.
Hmm.
So even though like the difference between like the 28, 35, and I forget the three different ones
Rather,
offhand, but
it goes from 24, that's native, and then it
okay,
goes to 28 and then 35, and then you have to hit the 2x to go to
it's
48.
2X, right? And I told her, it feels like it's zooming. In a way, it is zooming,
Hmm.
but you're not really digitally zooming by like stretching out. You're just looking at less of the image.
Yeah, and then it's going
Boom.
like
Yeah.
this, and but then it's going like this to present it to you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
So you're not really stretching. You're more stretching pixels and cutting pixels in half and then interpolating. So I let her. I told her,
it's a
give it a
complicated
try. It
it's
is.
a
It is.
complicated mess for
It
sure.
is. But yeah.
Um,
So I told her, try the different focal lengths. You may like one or the other, or what she does.
yeah. Oh yeah.
And the 2X. So yeah, give it a try. And difference with um the way the zooms are.
Hmm.
So, and if she wants to use portrait mode and the fact it even tells you, hey, by the way, if there's a person or an animal, we'll make it portrait. You don't even have to go into portrait mode.
Yeah, no, that's got to be turned on,
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
settings. But yeah, it's definitely available, and
yeah,
it's pretty slick.
yeah.
Yeah. So, well, I think this is a pretty good test. I think we've done
Hmm.
pretty good to get this up and going as quick as we did. Um,
Now, one thing
so
I also want to mention real quick
okay, yep.
before we cut off, I tried action mode for video.
Oh yes, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and that is mind blowing. Um, we went when after that we decided to go to a restaurant for dinner instead of coming home. And I said, okay, I want to give this a try. I want to try it on the 5X because I've heard people who use it, the 5X get you that more pop than the 1X or the 2X or the point 0.5, definitely. So I said, okay, we'll hit the action mode, put on video, put on action mode. You'll walk like we were just walking to the car. You walk, I walk, and we kind of just okay. So she said, oh, you're way too close. So we had to be like 20 feet apart.
Yeah, yeah, at
At
least,
least,
probably
at
more. Yeah.
least, yeah, probably 30, 40. So we were a good hunk apart on this. Good. Just record and just get me in the shot. It doesn't matter
Hmm.
how steady it is. Keep me in the shot and just walk.
Yeah.
So she did. You can hear in the video, she said, you're jumping up and down. The video's all crazy going
Yeah. Yeah.
around. And because on her screen, the video was all jumping and crazy.
Yep.
And then she looked at it, the process, and the processing's immediate.
Oh yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
crazy thing. It's not a matter of hit the button, wait 2, 3 seconds, or even noticeable. By the time you open up the photo or open up the video, it's processed. And
Yeah.
she was like, this is amazing. I was
Yeah.
walking and the camera was bouncing and everything was moving. I'm looking at it now and it is smooth. And
Yeah.
I'm walking, she's walking. I'm staying centered in the image and there's no bouncing around or anything else. And it's just, if you have kids and you're literally, if you have kids and they do sports, because it's a hard, or if you're doing things, you're doing things that you're looking, the subject's moving and maybe you're moving because, as we know, to get dynamic video, you want to move. You just don't want
Yeah.
to be there on a tripod and tilt and pan. You want to
Right. Oh
move
yeah.
with the subject. Well,
Sure.
if you've done that in the past, you got jumpy video and it's jingling and you get seasick. This is just like literally, you would think she would have a gimbal that she's
Yeah,
walking with
it's
to make
pretty
it smooth.
smooth.
And
Yeah.
it's like, this is amazing.
Yeah,
And the
it
quality
is.
does
It's really
not real.
incredible.
I imagine what it's doing, it's kind of cropping a little bit around and then trying to, in software, do like a stabilization. So you can't be too tight on a subject.
Well, you were using the
The
5X, and
5X,
it
yeah.
has that three-axis
Hmm.
stabilization, which really works
Yeah.
well. But yeah, and you sent that video, and as far away as you were, I could
Hmm.
still hear you very well
Oh yeah. Yeah.
in that video, and that's crazy.
Yeah. And
Um,
like I said, we were in a parking lot and it was a matter of traffic going around. So it wasn't like we were in a quiet place.
yeah, oh yeah.
So now I am very curious for tomorrow because tomorrow we will be doing I want to make sure I get the name right. The, come on. Not that, not that, not that, not that. Sorry about this, folks. The forever, the number forever yours for Mahler.
Oh yes, yes, that's right.
So I'm
I saw
doing the
something
first
about
two
that
point,
on
yeah,
Facebook. Yeah.
yeah, I'm doing the first 2.7, running that, giving my belt and the tag, and Ruth's going to do the last 1.3 miles as a walk. Now,
Yeah.
this is an open course, so we're going to walk the last bit together. So this will be a 4 mile race, and it'll be clear, won't be rainy. It'll be a bit brisk. So I'm curious to see what kind of shot she can get.
Hmm.
You know, I mean, brisk is in like mid 30s, mid to upper 30s. So it isn't like we're going to be frigid, but no rain, no snow, no mess or anything like that. So I'm kind of curious to see what kind of photos she can get. If there's any video subjects we can do while we're walking or something like that.
Yeah.
So I'm that is something I'm curious to see, and also how much I'll annoy her by saying, "Hun, get your phone out, get your phone out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Look over there, look over there."
She'll just go, here, you carry it.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's awesome that she got the new phone, and
Oh yeah.
uh, you know, bless her for letting you play around with it the odd time. And
Oh, most
um,
definitely. Most definitely.
yeah, and I think you'll find even with the light pollution that you have, you'll find a difference with stars.
Yeah.
You'll see a lot more
Well,
stars in the image.
yeah, that's what I was actually trying to see whether what we're expecting. And it looks like Wednesday night. We're expecting clearish skies.
Oh, okay.
So not until then are we going to have clearer skies.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because it looks like yeah, cloudy tonight, Monday cloudy, Tuesday that four-letter word, and maybe on Wednesday it looks like a little clearer. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
still high 40 degrees, so it's not like we're going to have like inches and inches of yeah. This is the weirdest
Well,
thing. We are getting near.
the only
We're
place
we,
that got snow is Nova Scotia, and Scott got it
uh,
all,
oh,
and he can have it all. He's
uh,
in the chat room, so I can see
oh,
that
okay.
he's most likely watching. And I must say,
Woo!
Scott, it was nice to see that you actually put some appropriate footwear on your little venture today. He put I think it was just a reel or a little story on that showed him actually walking with snowshoes on, because
Ah.
yesterday he just had his normal boots on, and he was sinking in the snow by a foot with each step he took.
Oh.
And he was going out to do a sunset shot, but
Oh.
and the pictures turned out great, fantastic. But I think he probably got a bit of a soaker by the time he got back. His
Oh yeah,
feet
this
were probably cold and wet, and but he's saying you're gonna get more on Tuesday. Ooh, well, let's see. I don't know if our forecast even has anything like that in it. Friday, there's a 40% chance of snow, and then the following Monday. So like I'm talking like next Friday, and then the week after this Monday, so
Oh
10
yeah,
days
that's
away.
way out.
But I mean, we had like 11 or 12 degrees here uh, yesterday, the day before. I think it was the day before yesterday. It was like really
Celsius.
nice. Celsius,
Celsius.
yes.
Okay, thank you. No, just making sure in my head. Just making sure in my head.
Yeah, well, 11 degrees Fahrenheit, not good.
No, no, that's like that would be bad.
Yeah, he says
Yeah.
very
Well, okay,
frozen
yeah, I see her.
ankles.
Yeah, because Monday I just changed the weather channel to Celsius. So yeah, on Monday it's supposed to be 11 degrees Celsius here, and then like single digits, but upper single digit Celsius. So
Yeah.
that's still for this time of year, it's still warm.
Oh, it is. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Um, we got a bit of snowfall today. Like, well, when I say snowfall, all I mean is like snowflakes were falling, but they were just melting as soon as they hit the ground
Mm,
because it's
wow.
still plus 1 degree. So it's like 33 degrees Fahrenheit.
Right.
Um, so it's oh, these
Now,
guys are saying there's always
do you have anything on the ground to take pictures of?
oh no, no, it's all green.
Hold on, hold
So
on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Since we have him in the chat, hold on.
oh yeah. So anybody that's watching that doesn't know what we're talking about here, Shane Moston in the chat says, "Who is this imposter doing a live stream with Macro McMillan?" So Dave's putting a hat on to make you feel at home, Shane.
Crikey, I need some Marmite. I'm gonna put in there shrimp on the bobby, mate.
Oh God, they
Hey,
never say that.
I gotta
They
get some
they never
Molson.
say
I
that.
gotta get some Molsons. You know it's Australian for beer.
Oh, that's gold. Uh, they never say that about the putting the shrimp on the
Oh,
bobby.
I know. You called that a knife.
Yeah, yeah. Now that's a knife. Oh, Shane says, "Ha ha, go, Dave." That's good stuff.
Let's
I
say,
have hats. I have hats right
oh
there,
yeah. I would say,
but
yeah.
I hardly ever wear them.
Shane's in the future enjoying Sunday.
Yes, yeah. It is where he is right now. It's 11:35 in the morning, and for us, it's 7:35 p.m. So,
Yeah.
uh, gotta laugh at it. Devos has got to laugh at a crappy Australian accent. Well, I tried it once and it didn't work for me either.
Oh
So,
no. If you can't do here's my thought about a lot of things. And this includes photography. If you can't get something that's really, really good, go the opposite direction.
yeah.
You know, if you can't get a good accent, do a crappy accent.
Well,
If
you're
you
trying to make it sound like a good one. Yeah. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, you know,
I'd like to see
do like a wink and nod.
yeah. Like I'd like to see um Shane or even Devo in the UK do a Canadian accent. Or even yourself. I mean, I've heard you go no dude about it. But it's not quite that bad.
No, no, no. Well, I will say this. If I'm just because of like some of the celebrities I'm familiar with, they're from Quebec.
Oh
So
yeah.
it's a French Canadian, like French Canadian English, if that makes
Hmm.
sense. You know, someone from Quebec or from like the outskirts of Montreal speaking English sounds different from, like, say, someone from Ottawa,
Right.
Province speaking English.
Yeah. Well, and Ottawa, it borders right on Quebec. Like
Right.
across the river is a city called
Hmm.
Hull. And so I mean Ottawa, everything's bilingual. All the signage, all that stuff is all bilingual because it's right there. Of course, I mean being the capital city and we have two official languages, they gotta
Right.
accommodate
Double
that too.
everything. They have to double
But
everything. Yeah.
Devo says South Park Canadians are the best. I'd have to look
Well,
that up because
oh, the whole South Park cartoon where
well,
we they order you as yeah,
I know the cartoon, but
Blame Canada.
oh, is that what they do? Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Oh yeah, and honestly, Devo, it depends on where you're from in the US, being called a Yank or not. Officially Pittsburgh is, well, it's mid-Atlantic, but it's kind of northeast. But Yank is normally like northeast. So
Yeah.
New York, Boston,
Yeah.
New England. If you talk to someone in the South, a Yank, that will cause issues.
You probably start a fight.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Especially like you got Florida, Texas, you know,
Alabama,
Alabama,
Georgia.
Arkansas, South Carolina,
Yeah.
depending on where you're at. But yeah, if you call a Yank, that's a Yankee. Then we're going back to the Civil War Yankee
Yeah. Yeah.
versus a Southern, or as they sometimes still unfortunately call it, the War of Northern Aggression. But no, like I said, I really don't be calling me a Yank. Eh. But yeah, I mean, like I said, there are so many bits and pieces just because of the size of the US. Same thing with size of Canada.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Shane says from down
from
under,
down
they're all
under, they're all
Yanks, mate.
Yank, mate. No, I believe that. No, I mean,
Uh,
the farther away you are, you know, um, it's hard to realize the size and scope and differences when you don't deal with someone face to face.
yeah.
You know, and it's something like I've seen this a few times where people are like, oh, I'm in London and I'm just taking a quick trip to France. You know,
Hmm.
I'm going to get on the channel, I'm going to go over there, no big deal. Or I'm going to drive, I'm going to take a long drive and go 2 hours, or I'm going to go 4 hours, and I'm going to go all the way across country or across like three countries. And I think Shane probably has the same. It's like, so, there we go. Yinza. Yep. There we go. You got them Yinzers in the ant.
That almost
But,
sounds like a Minnesota.
yeah, well, it's similar, but yeah. Um, but yeah, so I mean, and then you say, oh yeah, like Ruth had a jewelry convention, took a 5 hour drive, went to Baltimore, and so that's a trip, but it's not a long trip,
Yeah.
you know. Like if I wanted to drive and see my dad in California, that would be a 3 hour or 3 day drive
Yeah. Oh yeah.
because it's across country. Yep.
Uh,
Yeah, I agree with Devo. Yeah. Oh, you're in the UK.
oh yeah.
You live outside London. No.
Yeah, really. I'm going to send you what Scott sent me, and he said this is literally on TV as we speak.
Uh-oh. And honestly, the three I would say there have been multiple movies made in Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Flashdance from 83, 84.
Oh really?
Yeah. That was actually Pittsburgh was kind of known as the thing. Uh, what was it? Breaking Point. It was with Bruce Willis in the 90s. It was
Hmm.
a cop drama. And a good amount of The Dark Knight Rises was filmed here.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah,
Oh yeah, football stadium too, right?
yeah, yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. We've had a few movies shot around here. One that was shot right in town here was way back in 1980 something, and it was that Disney film One Magic Christmas. They used Owen Sound
Yeah, okay.
and a little neighboring town called Meaford, and then different areas around the area, like in the rural areas, to film that movie. And it was a pretty big deal for our area back then. Um, but a lot of stuff was in Toronto. Like Toronto was like basically North Hollywood type of thing.
Yeah.
Do a lot of stuff there. But um, anyway, so those of you in the chat, how has the picture quality and all that stuff been? I'm assuming it's probably pretty good. I'll wait for a couple of responses here before we tie it off, but we're gonna call it a night on this one, and I think Shane says Die Hard and First Blood are the only true Christmas movies.
I mean, true, true.
Yeah, yeah, you're probably right. Um, but anyway, so uh this was fun. I think it
Hmm.
went off pretty much without a hitch. We got
Yep.
chat room going on YouTube. We got now I noticed on YouTube there's a great big Zoom um
Right.
overlay
Right. And you can't get
and
rid of it probably because that Zoom adding it on when you um because you're using Zoom to push it out to YouTube. So I'm guessing they shove it on there.
yeah, maybe it's
I
not a
don't know
big
if
deal that
there's
it's there,
I
I
don't
guess,
know if
but
maybe you have to do like a executive or a what's the or a
like the account type, you mean?
yeah, you have to go like a
Oh
higher
yeah,
account,
yeah.
maybe you can get rid of it type things like everything else. It's like
Well,
so much
I
for
got
free.
a pro account. You think it would be not there, but like you say, there's other tiers, right? So maybe that's why. But no, this is good. All right. Well, I will stop the recording. Actually, no, I'm going to leave that go for you and I for a bit. But then I will, let's see, stop the live stream. There it is there. All right. Well, thank you everybody for watching. Those of you who are here, and I'm glad it didn't go all fuzzy and gnarly on you. Hopefully everything went good, sounded great and everything else. So um, look for us Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern,
Mm-hmm.
and we will do our regularly scheduled broadcast at that time. And we're not even going to practice. We're just going to log out
Practice?
now and
Yeah.
sign back in then, see what happens. Alrighty. Good night, everybody.